Have you ever met a woman who seemed powerful at first glance, but left behind a trail of chaos everywhere she went? A woman whose presence was bold, but unsettling. What if all that strength she projected was nothing more than a mask? A disguise, hiding something far more fragile underneath. And here's the real question. What if you were slowly becoming her without even noticing? There's a certain kind of woman out there. She walks into a room like she owns it, carries herself like she knows everything, believes she's always 3 steps ahead of everyone else. She thinks she's in complete control of her world, but the reality is very different. She's not wise, she's not powerful, she's just a fool wrapped in confidence. And the worst part, she doesn't even know it. This is the kind of woman who sabotages her own life over and over again and never pauses to ask why. She creates the fire, then complains about the heat. She lives in a fantasy where she believes she's the one pulling the strings. Meanwhile, she's quietly burning down every good thing around her. And if you don't learn to recognize the signs, you might fall for her lies. Get pulled into her chaos, or worse, if you're not careful, you might wake up one day and realize you've become her. So listen carefully now, because from this moment forward, every word matters. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what makes a woman foolish. You will see through the mask. And more importantly, you'll know how to avoid her, outsmart her, or even better, save yourself from becoming her. Let's begin with the first sign. She confuses attention for value. A foolish woman believes that if people are looking at her, then she must be important. The more eyes on her, the more worthy she feels. She chases the spotlight like it's oxygen, feeds on constant validation like it's food. And when the attention fades, she starts to feel invisible, unseen, unimportant. So she creates chaos, drama, noise, anything to pull the spotlight back onto herself. That's why she overshares her personal life on social media. Why she sparks arguments just to stay relevant. Why she acts deep or spiritual in public, but behind closed doors she's empty. All of it is a cry for someone, anyone, to say, "You matter," but here's the truth. Attention is not the same as value. Being noticed is not the same as being respected. Woman with real value doesn't chase attention. She draws it in without trying. Her presence is felt even when she says nothing. She doesn't need the spotlight, because she's already the light. And the moment you meet a woman who measures her worth by how many likes, comments, or compliments she gets, walk away. She's not looking for meaning, or love, or depth. She's chasing her next hit of approval, and she trade her dignity to get it. Now, for sin number 2. She lacks self-control. A foolish woman is not guided by wisdom. She's ruled by impulse. She knows she should save money, but she buys things she doesn't need just to feel better for a moment. She knows that man is toxic, but she texts him anyway because she craves the attention. She says she wants a better life, but when faced with the choice between growth and comfort, she always picks comfort. Every time her emotions drive heartbroken again because she believed the same lies, or stuck in failure because she still refuses to take control. That's the reality many face. But a wise woman, she understands something powerful. Discipline is freedom. The ability to say no to your own impulses. The strength to choose growth over comfort. That is what truly sets her free. But the foolish woman, she sees freedom as the right to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants. with no thought for the cost. And that mindset, that misunderstanding of what freedom really is, it's exactly why she keeps sabotaging herself over and over again. Now let's move to sign number 3. She talks more than she thinks. Have you ever met someone who just cannot stop talking? Someone who dominates the conversation, always interrupting, always oversharing. That is the hallmark of the foolish woman. She loves the sound of her own voice, but not because she has anything meaningful to say. She talks simply to be heard, to feel important, to feel like she matters. She gives advice she doesn't follow, argues about things she barely understands, cuts people off mid-sentence just to make her point. She mistakes loudness for authority, and to her, winning the argument means she must be right. But in chasing that illusion of victory, her words build walls, not bridges, distance, not understanding, and that's what takes us even deeper, because now we begin to see what truly destroys her from within. In the last part, we uncovered how the foolish woman uses her voice recklessly, while the wise woman speaks with intention. But there's more to it. Asterisk, the most intelligent people in any room are rarely the loudest. They are the ones who listen the most, who observe, who reflect, who pause before speaking. They treat words like a master treats his tools, with precision, with discipline, with purpose. They speak only when needed, and when they do, their words carry weight. But the foolish woman, she throws her words around like a child flinging paint. No structure, no thought, just noise. And that's exactly why she never learns, because she never listens, never reflects, never stops to ask herself, am I helping, or just making noise? Now we come to sign number 4. She blames everyone else for her problems. If she's single, it's because all men are trash. If she's broke, it must be because the world is unfair. If she fails, someone must have sabotaged her. In her mind, it's always someone else's fault. There is always an excuse, always a reason to avoid looking in the mirror. But here's the truth. Every single decision she has made, every action, every avoidance, every shortcut has led her exactly to where she is now. And she refuses to admit that the wise woman is different. She takes full responsibility. She owns her mistakes, learns from them, adjusts her path. She grows because she understands. Growth begins the moment you stop blaming and start owning. But the foolish woman, she clings to the role of the victim like it's armor. She wears it proudly, uses it as a shield to avoid change. And as long as she does that, she will never move forward. She will never rise. She will never win. And in the next part, we'll uncover the final trait, one that silently ruins everything she touches. Stay with me, because it's the one most women never even realize is holding them back. Sign number 5. She chooses her friends poorly. If you ever want to know how wise or foolish someone truly is, just look at who they spend their time with. A foolish woman surrounds herself with people who feed her worst habits, not because they help her grow, but because it's easy, because it's comfortable. She prefers to be around those who always agree with her, who tell her what she wants to hear, who never challenge her. People who gossip, lie, stir up drama. Why? Because deep down, she's just like them. And being around them means she never has to change, never has to grow. But a wise woman, she surrounds herself with people who challenge her to rise, who won't let her stay small, who hold her accountable even when it's uncomfortable, because she understands The people around you shape who you become. The foolish woman never learns this. That's why she stays stuck, repeating the same cycles with the same people, making the same excuses. And now we arrive at sign number 6, the final and perhaps the most revealing one. She never learns from her mistakes. This is the clearest sign of all. A foolish woman doesn't grow. She just repeats, again and again. She finds herself in toxic relationships, falls for the same lies, lives out the same destructive habits, like she's trapped in a loop she doesn't even realize she's in. But a wise woman, she stumbles too. She gets hurt. She makes mistakes. But then she does what the foolish one won't. She reflects. She learns. She makes changes. And little by little, she outgrows the old version of herself. She evolves. She becomes better, stronger, wiser. But the foolish woman, she keeps spinning in circles, asking why nothing gets better. Why life keeps hurting, never realizing it's her choices keeping her there. Now you know the difference between a wise woman and a foolish one. It's not about how loud she speaks or how many followers she has. It's about how she lives. A wise woman is disciplined, accountable, surrounded by people who sharpen her, and rooted in true value, not empty attention. A foolish woman, she does the opposite. And here's the final truth. Wisdom is not something you're born with. It's a choice, a daily choice. So choose wisely. If this message made you pause, made you think, even for just a moment, then don't scroll away. Hit the like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment and tell us which part hit you the hardest. And, above all, subscribe to the Stoic Crown, because this is not just a channel, it's a journey, a path toward becoming stronger, sharper, more grounded. And if you're serious about that, then this is just the beginning. See you in the next one.